The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Two Beards Talking. I'm Daniel Sanders.
And this is Matt Lassiter.
And as we always do at the start of every show, we want to give a big shout out to the troops. You guys are doing a good job. Keep up the good work and come home safe. Everybody's rooting for you. So, moving right along. Crybaby of the Week. Got one. It's a good one.
Well, it's at least a deserved one.
Yeah, very. And of course, we're talking about R. Kelly, and specifically we're referencing his, for lack of a better term, what could be called a mental breakdown during an interview recently. Now, I can hear some people out there saying, oh, well, it's justified, his life is coming to an end, and so on. Yeah, I get that, but still... grown-ass man crying like a baby.
Have some dignity, man.
So, yeah. It sucks for him regardless, because, on the one hand, if he's being falsely accused, either way, I could understand his frustrations if he's being falsely accused, then, yeah, that's obviously something to be upset about. But on the other hand, if he's not being falsely accused, then he knows that's his life right there.
I mean, don't do the crime.
Yeah. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And whether you did it or not, like you said, have some fucking dignity.
Well, I mean, if he didn't do it, don't put yourself in a situation where you can be accused of it.
Right. Exactly.
You're a high-profile individual. You know better.
Right. So, yep, that's our crybaby of the week right there. So, R. Kelly, this one's for you.
And if R. Kelly goes to jail, I'll piss on your cat.
Best one so far.
Oh, man. So, this is a special show for me, because... I'm down in Jacksonville, Florida right now. It is my birthday coming up this weekend. And as a gift to myself, I wanted to take a vacation. So down here in Jacksonville, Florida, watching the practice rounds for the Players' Championship this week.
Left my ass in Alabama. Thanks, douche.
Well, I mean, we're two beards talking. We're not two beards holding hands going on vacation together.
Sound like I'm trying to be two beards cuddling here. I'm just trying to go to Florida, man.
I mean, that's how you're making it sound.
I'm just trying to go to Florida.
So it's and I can see why too, because the weather's freaking nice down here. I mean, it was like 75 degrees, clear skies. It was nice today.
It was 70.
I don't know what you had to deal with.
It was 70 and sunny, and I rode the four-wheeler all day.
Oh, okay. Well, I followed Tiger Woods around on the back nine, and I don't really know what his deal is. Like, he seemed like he was doing well today. And I was even talking with some people. We were on the 18th hole, and I was talking with some people, just kind of joking. Tiger's out in the middle of the fairway getting ready to hit his second shot. And I'm joking with these people. Oh, yeah, if one of us gets hit by a golf ball, our chances of meeting Tiger just, drastically increased, because every time he's hit a spectator with a ball, he's always gone up, talked to him, shook their hand, autographed his glove and give it to him, whatnot. And no sooner than I said that, Tiger's shot literally plopped in the ground 10 feet in front of me.
I think he was gunning for you.
I think he was. So, and then he walked up and hit an amazing chip shot and holed out for a birdie on the last day. It was awesome. But yeah, that's what I'm doing this week, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. But we did not come here to tell you guys that.
Well, you did. You rubbing it in, asshole.
Well, I mean, I do have to brag a little bit. I mean, this is the 11th time that I'm turning 21, so
there you go.
No, we do actually have some topics to discuss this evening, and the first one, Massachusetts Representative Ayanna Pressley is moving to lower the voting age to 16. And I left out the fact that she is a Democrat.
Well, of course she is. She's doing something stupid.
Well, yeah. So we started a poll last week on this topic. Should the voting age be lowered to 16? And it is flat out 100% no. And I think everybody that is voting no is going to agree with me when I say it's because a 16-year-old is too immature.
Well, yeah, for the most part. I mean, there are some teenagers that are actually politically engaged and know what the hell they're talking about, but that's few and far between.
Yeah, most 16-year-olds, they hear somebody talking about giving them free stuff. Free college, free healthcare. Well, hey, that means I don't have to do shit. I don't have to work for anything.
Dude, 25-year-olds hear that and freak out.
Well, yeah, that is true. And yeah, it's part of this whole entitlement generation. Everything is owed to me and I don't owe anybody.
Well, it just shows that no one's really paying attention because all this free stuff, but nothing's ever free. It's got to come from somewhere. And somewhere is going to be taxing people to the point of breaking them.
Right. So, Pressley, and this is this is what she said. Cited teen activists pushing for gun control as a reason for giving 16-year-olds the right to vote, which the Congresswoman compared to having a driver's license. Quote, young people are at the forefront of some of our most existential crises, end quote.
There is a big difference between a right and a
privilege. Absolutely, yes.
You know, the voting age was set up at 18 because back when the Constitution was written, at 18, you were a man.
Right.
That's just how it was back in the day. At 18, you were a man. You probably owned your own farm. You had your own family. You know, you were doing man-top stuff. Nowadays, even at 22, most people aren't men or grown-up women.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a completely different time.
So it doesn't say in the article, but you know, like it says, cited teen activists pushing for gun control, which one can only be led to believe means she's talking about David Hogg and
all his ilk.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're all old enough to vote now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And you know, the biggest issue I have with it is plain and simple. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, here's the thing. Teenagers, much like Democrats, they want to legislate and come up with policy from a place of emotion, not logic.
Right.
They want to be like, oh, this is the knee-jerk reaction from this tragedy that just happened. That's what we should legislate. No, you don't legislate with emotion. Legislate with logic, and that's how you should vote. You don't vote with emotion. You should vote with logic.
Right. Now, it goes on to say two other Democratic Congresswomen, Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib and New York Representative Grace Ming, offered their support for Presley's legislation. And Ming was quoted as saying, "I'm committed to making sure we empower young people to build our future together. Giving them the power to vote will help build a more equitable and just future."
Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy anything they're selling these days. They're just looking for. They got their asses kicked when they thought they couldn't lose, and now they're looking for more votes.
Right. And, you know, speaking of votes, hey, segue.
Got it.
Bill H.R. 1. And I think you told me earlier you had the bill pulled up there in front of you.
I had it for a minute. I had it on my phone.
Okay.
But it was like 10,000 sections. I'm not reading all that. I'm not in Congress, not my job.
Yeah. Well, basically what it boils down to is Democrats in the House are pushing to give illegals the right to vote.
Well, it outlines that and several other things. Like I said, I haven't read the whole. I've probably read more than Congress has.
Probably.
I haven't read the whole thing. I actually want to go through it more in depth, but the letting illegals vote is where it gets me.
Yes. You know, they were up in arms with foreign interference with the election and everything, but now they're all about giving illegals the right to vote.
Which, okay, so it's really funny. They're still trying to nail Trump on Russian collusion. Still trying to. And still trying to say that the Russians interfered in our election. Now they're like, well, let's let Mexico interfere in our elections. Let's let Bulgaria interfere in our elections.
Yeah.
You can't not want one country to do it while turning around and letting 50 others do it. Like, pick your side.
Exactly.
Like logically, they don't even believe in their side.
Well, we've already established that they don't operate based on logic.
Which is becoming more and more apparent every day. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no reason to let someone whose their interest in this country is literally money.
Yeah. And, going even further, acting on emotion instead of logic. Who was it that said it? Was it Ocasio-Cortez that said it? It's better to be morally correct than factually right or whatever.
Yeah, she said something along those lines, and it was completely stupid when she said it.
Yeah. Yeah, throw facts aside. If it doesn't matter what the facts are. Is it morally right?
Well, see, that's the thing. The facts do matter. Okay, let me pose you this question. Is it morally right to take in over 1 billion refugees? Well, yeah. It's morally right to give people a place where they don't have to fear for their lives. Is it logical? Could we do it without bankrupting our country? No. So sometimes it's hard to make the morally right decision because of the logic.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying we should turn every refugee away, but, we can't do stuff. We cannot make emotional decisions like that. It's just, it will bankrupt our country, and then we will be Venezuela. I don't want to be Venezuela because I've never met a dog I wanted to eat.
Yeah, I can't say that I have. I was trying to think of a time where I was just like super hungry, but no, I can't think of a time.
Yeah. America is so horrible that most of us can never think of a time where we've been so hungry we would eat a dog. But we're not the best country in the world.
Yeah. I mean, even when I was deployed overseas, there were a couple of times where, all we had left in the MRE box was the veggie omelet. And yeah, no, even then I couldn't think of a time where I was hungry enough that if I saw a dog walking down the street, I'd say, hey, That dog looks really delicious.
And you know what's actually funny? I saw a guy post on Facebook, unironically post this on Facebook. He had just come back from Venezuela. He said, I was in Venezuela for a week, and I didn't see anyone eating out of the garbage, and I didn't see anyone dying to try to find water. But I saw that in my first day in New York. I'm calling bullshit on that. There are pictures of people eating out of the garbage in Venezuela.
Yeah.
He's just one of those people trying to make socialism still work.
Or he could just be one of those unfortunate, unlucky souls that was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, we got to look at it from all angles. But odds are you're probably right.
Well, I mean, he's trying to say that the homeless problem in America is a bigger problem than an entire nation of people without food. Now, don't get me wrong. We do have a homeless problem in America, and we should try to work on that. But nowhere near the levels of an entire nation being without food and running water and power.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But, I mean, you can't get people to understand that.
No, you can't. And it's unfortunate that people are so blinded by... I can't even think of the word now. Help me out here.
Stupidity?
Yes.
Partisanship?
Yeah, bipartisanship was the word I was looking for, yes.
Well, you weren't looking for bipartisanship, you were looking for partisanship.
Yeah, partisanship, yeah.
Yeah. I'll get you there. I went to college.
But yeah, they're so blinded that it's unreal.
Although I did find my new favorite way to shut up a socialist.
Uh-oh, let's hear it.
Well, I mean, they're always talking about we got to raise taxes on the rich. We got to raise taxes on the rich. If we tax them more, everybody will do better. Until you ask them this question. Well, what happens
when the rich are no longer rich?
What happens when the rich people leave?
Well, that too.
You think they're going to not be rich anymore? They're just going to leave. So what happens when the people you're taxing say, screw you, I'm leaving this country, and they do that? Then who do you tax?
Well, I mean, then it's basically the same situation.
I mean...
The rich are no longer rich because the rich are no longer here.
I mean, yeah, but they have no answer for that. They have no answer for how they're going to sustain their policies without rich people.
Well, then it becomes trickle down. Okay, well, our billionaires just left, so now we're going to start taxing our millionaires more. Oh, well, our millionaires just left. Well, now this guy that's got $500,000 in his account, we're going to tax him more. Oh, he just left. Well, this guy over here making $7.25 an hour is making more money than I am because I'm sitting around on my ass not working, so now we're going to tax him more.
Oh, which, by the way, I did some research. Trickle-down economics doesn't exist. That no one has ever coined that as an actual economic structure that is possible. That was something made up by leftists. Just an FYI.
Well, I used the term trickle down as kind of a reference to...
You were using it, it's more of a shit flows downhill kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But you did say trickle down, which made me think of trickle down economics, which doesn't exist.
Oh God, yeah.
We're gonna get into economics on the show one day. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, the Democrats are. I don't even fucking know what the Democrats are. Like they're.
Well, you know what? The sad part, it's not the Democrats. It is the far left liberals. They are stuck. They're stuck in their Twitter and social media bubble, and they think that that's how the majority of America feels. That's not the majority of America. That's Twitter, that's Facebook, that's Instagram. That's how maybe a couple million of Americans feel. We're talking about a country of 300 and some odd million.
Yeah.
So it's the far left. Most moderate Democrats don't believe in what the far left is doing. But they're also not, they're You've heard the term the vocal minority?
Yeah.
That's the far left. They're the vocal minority. They're going to scream and scream and scream until you hear them.
Well, somebody needs to snip their fucking vocal cords.
I mean, that'll never happen. They're just going to keep going until they've ruined us. And then, everybody's going to go, well, you guys are dumb. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Hate to say we told you so, but we fucking told you so.
Yeah, but there won't be any of us left to say I told you so.
No, there'll be one person. Keith Richards and a couple of cockroaches.
Maybe Robert Downey Jr., I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to die.
Oh, man. So, yeah. More about the Democrats, too. Moving on.
Dear God.
Yeah. And this one's your child. Because I couldn't find anything through all of my searches. I couldn't find any resources to cite or anything like that. So this one's going to be your child. So I now pass it over to you, Mr. Lassiter.
I'm assuming you're talking about the social engineering thing.
Oh, yes.
What was that? What was that tweet you? Because you did find the tweet, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was I want to say it was Kamala Harris.
It was Kamala Harris, but I don't remember her exact words.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Excuse me.
The actual. That's because I want to know what exactly she said, so that I can just be like, well, that's dumb. Which doesn't really matter what she says. I'm gonna say that anyways. That's just kind of how this works.
Here we go.
Aha.
Found it right here. It says Democrats. I'm sorry.
Said you mind reading that out loud for the class?
I was getting to it. My computer was doing that thing where you try to scroll down and then it gets to the first paragraph and then it goes back to the top of the page. Let's see. Okay, so it says Democrats running for the 2020 nomination have been upping the ante on core liberal premises lately, and among those, the most costly buy-ins are by far in global warming and climate change. In that contest, Senator Kamala Harris of California may have taken top prize so far, when over the weekend she offered an ominous prescription for what ails the earth, which is not to fix a problem for people, but instead to fix people. And then, let me find her actual tweet. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't a tweet. It was a video.
Oh, yeah, it was a video. I forgot it was.
Yeah, she was on video.
Yeah, I watched that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got enough now.
Yeah.
But basically, talking about social engineering, which for those that don't know, social engineering is basically, it refers to a way of influencing a particular attitude and social behaviors on a large scale, whether it's by the government or by the media or private groups. They're trying to influence the way you think about things. It's like one of those things where if you tell a lie enough times, you'll start believing it. I mean, everybody does it. If you tell the same lie over and over, eventually that lie is going to become truth. And that's what they're trying to do, and that's what's dangerous, because what they don't talk about is the fact that all of your mainstream media, even the people on Fox News, they are liberally slanted. Even though they're, they have their conservatives, but most people in the media are liberal, have their liberal biases. So that.
Okay, now I'm going to cut you off right there, because I did find the quote from the video. It is a fact that we can change human behaviors without much change to our lifestyle, and we can save the future generations of our country and this world.
Yeah, and I think the idea she has, or the idea that she's setting forth, is not in theory a bad one. In theory, it's a good one. But the way they're going to go about it is going to be completely flawed. Because she's talking about in the realm of like climate change and stuff like that.
Right.
So
see,
go ahead.
My issue is, it starts off we're going to change how people think about climate change. Well, we've done that. What else can we do? And they're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And eventually we're going to end up, oh God, what was that movie? Equilibrium.
Oh, yeah.
Mindless drones, emotionless drones, just doing what we've been told to do.
Or even worse, we're going to 1984 ourselves.
That too, yeah.
I mean, that would be worse than Equilibrium. But, I mean, okay, let's look at it from a logical standpoint. She's talking about in the realms of climate change right now. So, what do you hear the celebrities say? You know, everyone should do their part. Don't use this much water when you can get by with this much water. Don't do this when you can do this. But see, that's the problem. The only people's lives that are changing are the poor people's or the middle class. The ultra rich are not going to do any of these things. You think they're going to stop taking out their super yachts? No. Are they going to stop flying in private jets when they could drive or take the train? No. They're not going to change.
And God forbid someone tries to take away my damn steaks and hamburgers. I will fuck somebody up. I mean, I don't give a shit what cow farts are doing.
Yeah. I don't care about cow farts. But, I mean, that's the thing about social engineering. Social engineering can be a useful tool. Like, for instance, they have proven that children that grow up without a father do significantly worse than children that grow up in a two-parent home. So if you really want to social engineer something, let's social engineer our men of today to stay home and be fathers, to raise their children, so that the next generation has a leg up. If you want to use social engineering like that, I'm all for it.
Right.
But not to say, okay, well, they bought into climate change. Let's see if we can go after some rights now.
That's exactly where it would be headed towards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Absolutely.
I mean, shit, you give a Democrat a rope, they want to be a motherfucking cowboy.
And, I mean, it's not just Democrats. Republicans, I think Republicans would be guilty of the same thing if you put them in the same position.
Yeah, but it would go in a different, well, I say that. If you gave Democrats the same option, abortion would be, or if you gave Republicans the same option, abortion would be gone. There would be no such thing as abortion anymore. So, yes, both, it's like I said, both parties are they have their faults.
Right.
But the thing I find the most interesting is that what do Democrats call Republicans? They call us fascists. Well, not us, I'm not a Republican. But if you're on the right side, they call you a fascist, do they not?
They do.
Okay. If you look at a political spectrum, where does fascist line up on that political spectrum? They put it on the right. They say the more right you go, the closer you get to fascism. Which is complete bullshit. Because if you look at a Democrat, and you're like, okay, so we're at the middle. Then we go to the moderate Democrats. Then we go to the liberals. Then it goes progressive. All the way down to socialist, and past socialist is communism. Well, in between socialism and communism should be fascism. Because the thing is, if you go farther right, we're about giving you more liberties.
Right.
Standard conservative is like, hey, our liberties. Then you get past the standard conservative to the libertarian base where I'm at, and we're like, we should have more liberties. We should have a really small government. And we should have all of our liberties. Nothing should be taken away. Mm-hmm. And when you go even further from that, what you should do is you should chop fascism off of the right side and put anarchism or anarchy at the far right. That's what far right is. If you go all the way to the end, you're an anarchist. And that's still better than socialism, fascism, and communism. Because at the end of the day, anarchy is about the liberty of the individual. Do what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it. I'm not saying we should get there, because I don't want to get shot walking out my back door because somebody wants my Nikes.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have a purge, but
your mom's gonna be pissed because now the black SUVs don't know where to go. They're gonna go to her house here in Jackson, Florida.
Well, now you just told them where I'm at.
That doesn't matter. They won't find you. They're geolocating you right now.
They probably are.
But, I mean, the further out you go, the more liberties you get. The further left you go, the less liberties you have. And if people would just wake up and realize that government taking over everything is not a good thing.
No.
Education in this country has gone to shit since the government took it over.
Government taking over everything is what leads eventually to a dictatorship.
Exactly. I mean, we let the government said we're doing piss poor in education, they could do better. Well, guess what? They didn't do any better.
Fuck no. If anything, Common Core, really?
No Child Left Behind, really?
Yeah.
That should have been coined Most Children Left Behind.
Actually, no, it should have been coined as your education doesn't matter. It's more important that you graduate with your peers.
Yeah. Okay, give me one instance of where the government took over where they did a good job. They did better than the private individual. Can't do it. It's an impossibility.
Well, didn't we buy the Louisiana Territory for like a blanket and some beans?
We were going to get the Louisiana Territory regardless. That was happening. They needed money for a war, okay?
I mean, I'm just saying, we saved our money.
I mean, yeah.
We did some horse trading to get some land, okay?
Yeah, we did save our money. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, you get all these Democrats rallying against the establishment, saying, "Oh, capitalism's bad. This is horrible." Blah blah blah. But they don't realize that capitalism's what's paying for their social programs that they want so bad. That welfare doesn't exist without capitalism. It's an impossibility. Because it's like I told I had a bill collector call me one time, and I wasn't working at the time. He was like, "Man, this is the money you owe. Can you make a payment today?" I said, "No, sir, I can't." I was like, I don't have a job. I don't have any money." He's like, "Well, then we're going to have to garnish your wages." And I was like, "All right, quick math. Let me ask you a quick question. You're smarter than me, apparently." He was like, "What's that?" I was like, "What's 25% of zero?" Pause for a second, and I was like, "It's zero. So you go ahead and start your garnishment proceedings, and I'm going to laugh while you get nothing." And that's basically the Democratic strategy. We're going to try to squeeze a stone till we get some water out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And speaking of going to a dry well to get water, hey, did we segue every segment tonight?
I think so far, yeah, we've done pretty good on that.
Oh my god, that's a first. We're gonna have to celebrate when I get back.
Hell yeah, beers all around.
Fuck yeah. And now we're getting on our soapbox.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Our state government has completely fucked us.
Well, it's not a complete fucking, but
it's well on its way.
Right now, it's just the tip. But there was no lube or no spit.
No, there wasn't. And we're talking about the fact that our state has recently passed a new gas tax.
Signed into law today.
Yes, as you said earlier, they had a ceremony for said bill signing.
And if we didn't have to do this show tonight, I would have been down there. Just losing my shit in front of KIV.
Yeah, and here's the thing about it. It was a 10-cent gas tax.
Yeah, that's what they told you about.
Yeah, Well, and what I'm saying, it was could not be any more than 3 cents over the year.
I was told
it had to be implemented slowly. It wasn't 10 cents tacked on all at once. You said you read somewhere it was 1 cent?
Yeah, I read somewhere it was 1 cent.
Okay.
It might be 3, but different.
I think it was 3 because this was supposed to be implemented over a 3-year period.
Yeah, it's like 6 cents the first year, then 2 and 2.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, there was more in this bill than just raising a gas tax.
There always is. That's what people don't realize when they're voting on things. When the government's voting on things, there's always more on the back end that you don't know about.
Yeah. And of course, what we're talking about, they added a $50 increase to automotive car tags.
Yep.
If you drive a fully electric car, you have to pay an additional $200. If you drive a hybrid, you have to pay an additional $100.
Yep. Do you know how many people in Alabama bought the Ford C-Max that are going to be pissed now?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's Ford's hybrid, and it's their cheapest hybrid in this area. My mom owns one, and she bought it for the fuel economy. But it ain't going to matter when all these fees start coming in. Might as well go get you a V8.
Yeah. And, the whole thing was raising money for roads and infrastructure. Repairing roads and all this other stuff. I cannot grasp I don't understand why they don't grasp the concept of a state lottery.
You know what? I can do you one better. If you're in the state of Alabama and you're worried about your roads, don't worry, we all are. They all suck. But just do this. Call Domino's, get you a carry-out pizza. Take that bitch home. Fuck that pizza up on the way home. Domino's is paying to fix potholes right now.
Yeah.
I mean, people are always like, where are we going to get tax money for roads? Literally, a privately owned business is patching holes in our roads right now.
Yeah.
I mean, do we really need tax revenue for that?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing about it. Alabama is one of 6 states that does not currently have a state lottery. The other 5 states are Alaska, Hawaii, Mississippi, Nevada, and Utah.
Yeah, but Mississippi and Nevada have gambling.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Nevada especially. That's wait a minute now. Y'all are like the home. Y'all are like the headquarters of gambling.
I mean, you got Reno if you don't want to go to Las Vegas. Like you want that small Las Vegas atmosphere. Which trust me, I've been to Las Vegas. It's not that big actually.
Well, I don't know. I'd still like to see it for the experience, but
it's a great place to go. I'm not saying don't go there. I'm just saying it's not as big as everyone says it is.
Right.
Everyone makes it out to be this big metropolis. It's really not. It's literally like 15 casinos stuffed in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. Now, looking at that, in the fiscal year 2018, the Georgia Lottery transferred $1.1 billion to the Lottery for Education account. Now, that's primarily what Georgia uses their lottery for is education. They also use it for roads and other things like that, but primarily for education. We could, oh my God, this state could do a lot with $1.1 billion.
Well, not just that. Let's look at Colorado. Okay, they're one of the states that has a lottery, right?
Yeah.
They also have recreational marijuana. They just cracked $1 billion annually in marijuana sales. They're pulling in hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue off marijuana sales. Give us a lottery, you give us free weed, or you give us weed, it ain't got to be free. You're looking at, we would be generating probably close to an extra $1 billion, if not $1.5 billion in tax revenue just off those two things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which means we get Tennessee awesome roads. We could have Georgia awesome schools, because Georgia does have awesome schools.
Oh, yes, they do.
Their schools they don't fuck around in Georgia when it comes to education. So, I mean, we could have Georgia schools with Tennessee roads, and Alabama is sitting pretty. Because I've looked up the indexes. We're I think we're ranked 30-something in, what do they call it? Best places to live. Just the way our life is down here. They rank us somewhere in the 30s of how good our life is. Which, what? Isn't bad.
No, it's not bad, but it could definitely be better.
But they also, we're ranked in the 30s or 40s in the amount of debt we owe to the national government. So we owe less debt than most states, have a better life than most states, and that's without the lottery and without recreational marijuana. You bring in those two things, quality of life goes up, the money that we're sending back to the federal government goes up, which means our debt's going down, which means we're bringing in more businesses and more jobs. I'm going to bring up something from Facebook because I had to post on it. I couldn't stop myself. Kay Ivey, our governor, posted, Alabama continues to extend our employment streak. More folks are working now than ever before in the history of our great state. My comment right off the bat was, and now you're going to tax all these people you're celebrating into submission. We cannot legislate people out of poverty, and we most certainly cannot tax ourselves into prosperity. No gas tax, bring in the lottery.
Yeah.
Not a single response on that.
Yeah. And, the problem is Alabama is the buckle that is holding up the pants for the Bible Belt.
I mean, that's I hear so many people we can't bring in the lottery because it'll bring in the prostitutes and the drugs. They're already fucking here.
Yeah, last time I checked, the mountain that we live on, oh God, what was the nickname? Yeah, Meth Mountain? Yeah.
They don't call us that for nothing. We fucking earned that title.
Let's see, oh God, what else? Sand Mountain Slim Fast?
Yeah, Sand Mountain Slim Fast, Meth Mountain, and that's just our mountain. That's not even counting, Happy Holler? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Places like that where not just meth, but heroin and prescription medications and opioids. All over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
The drugs and the prostitution are already here. They're not going to get worse. Hell, they might get better. I mean, a couple of meth heads win $1 million, they might stop doing meth. No. If I did meth, I'd probably stop doing meth and be like, I can get them fancy drugs now.
No. I think you'd just do more meth.
No, they'd probably bump up to heroin. Get them fancy designer drugs. My heroin bag has a Gucci sticker on it.
I got these Louis Vuittons.
And I ain't talking about the purse either. Purse Gucci. I mean, these are things we could do to improve our state almost overnight. And they're talking about a measly, what did they say? It was $300 million we bring in tax revenue.
Yeah, and here's the problem. Our politicians can't keep their fucking hands off of the damn taxes.
And that's at the state level.
Yeah.
Don't get me started at the local level, because there are so many places in Alabama that are not taking advantage of passing fucking alcohol sales and Sunday sales. There are so many local municipalities that are missing out on all that alcohol revenue that it just befuddles me.
The town that I live in is a dry town.
Yup.
And I want to know the clock in front of City Hall. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Little Ben?
Yeah, Little Ben. There in front of City Hall. I'm sure that wasn't cheap.
No.
That's not a damn Timex they got up there.
No, that's not a cheap build.
I want to know where that damn money came from.
Well, how about how they fucked up our four-way?
Oh God, yes.
With all that
fucking
concrete they freaking poured everywhere. What did we need that for?
We didn't.
Just because Fort Payne did it, you think you got to be like them? I mean, we're missing out on all these things, and all these politicians don't know how to spend the money they got. And let most of you people in on the best kept secret of Alabama. 95% of our schools are Title I, which means they have to receive majority federal aid just to operate year to year.
Mm-hmm.
So we have literally some of the worst schools in the country because we have to depend so much on federal aid. Now, if we could take the burden off the federal government and take care of our own like we're supposed to, that benefits everybody.
Right.
Education gets better. You got more people going into better trade jobs. You got more people going to college. You've got more money for colleges. I mean, tuition can go down at these institutions, making it more accessible to a larger group of people. Because trust me, would I have loved to go to Auburn? Hell yes. Did I afford to go to Auburn even with a full Pell Grant? Hell no. That wouldn't cover full Pell Grant in the state. That wouldn't cover a semester.
No.
So, I mean, all these things we can be doing, and we're just missing it. They can never get it right. And as long as we're voting for the people we're voting for, they're never going to get it right.
It's not even the people that we're voting for. It's we're voting based on religion. There it is. We've come right back to it.
That's never going to change in Alabama. I mean, we're always going to be that red state that votes for Jesus. And you know what? In most scenarios, fine. Okay, I can be okay with it. But when we're missing out on billions of dollars in tax revenue, because of it, I'm not okay with it.
Exactly.
Especially when taxes I have to pay go up. Like, it costs me money to go to work. I have to put gas in my car.
You have to register your vehicle every year.
And these are things you have to do every year. Yeah, and that's not even, like, passenger vehicles, $13 more a year.
Mm-hmm.
Motorcycles, $7 more a year. That doesn't sound like a lot, but gosh, you know, all that added together still doesn't make what we would make in the lottery.
Exactly.
Because what they don't realize is Alabamians are already playing the lottery. You either go to Georgia or you go to Tennessee. Or
Florida.
Or Florida if you're in the South. I mean, and Alabamians are already gambling. I mean, you go to Mississippi. It's not that far to go to Tunica.
Or you go to the damn reserve just north of Montgomery.
So, yeah, I mean, we're already doing it, so let's just make it statewide. And then, you know, reap the benefits of that. They talk about Alabama the beautiful. It could be more beautiful.
Oh, it could be a lot more beautiful.
I mean, there are so many things that we could do to make our state better.
It could be so much more beautifuler. You just don't know, man. See, if we'd have had state lottery, my education would have been better, and I wouldn't be using words like beautifuler.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be gumping it up right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I was from Greenbow, Alabama. Doesn't even exist, by the way. Couldn't even make him from a town that actually exists in Alabama.
But yet he could play ball for the Crimson Tide.
Well, I'd rather that Gump go to Crimson Tide than Auburn. he fits right in with the Crimson Tide, folks.
Oh, God. Bear Bryant followers' heads just exploded.
Shots fired, motherfuckers. Oh. but I mean, that's just how it is. We could be doing so much better. There are so many more things we can be doing and we could be doing that they're just not going to do.
Yeah.
And then they're going to bitch and complain saying we don't have enough money. Well, motherfucker, we've given you every option that would raise more money, and you've just said, no, I don't like that idea. Let's just do it this way. Okay.
And,
well,
like I said earlier, they can't keep their hands off the freaking taxes that we've already raised. We've already got taxes that are supposed to be going towards fixing our roads and all this other shit. And they keep taking money out of it and using it for other purposes.
Well, that's just politicians. They see money, they're grabbing it. Which is funny because they see money, they grab it. But we're leaving so much money on the table. Why aren't they grabbing for that? You want to know why? Because Kay Ivey wants another term.
Yeah. We're robbing Peter to pay Paul is what we're doing.
He can't come out and support lottery or legalize marijuana because nobody'd vote for her anymore. Well, a lot of people wouldn't vote for her anymore. I'd vote for her.
I'd vote for her.
If she was like, we're going to legalize marijuana by 2022 and we're going to have the lottery by 2021, she would be governor next year, guaranteed.
Yep. I agree.
There are enough people in this state that could put her back in the governor's house. With or without the Christian majority.
Yeah. As much as heartless as it's going to make me sound, it's the old Baptists that are doing it. We've got to weed them out. It's
the boomer generation, and that's my grandmother's generation.
Yeah,
and I love my grandmother to death. My grandmother would vote for the lottery. But it's the rest of the people in her generation that just cannot reconcile their religion with things they don't have to do. No one's making you play the lottery. No one's making you smoke marijuana. We're just giving you the option.
Mm-hmm.
When you choose to do it is up to you. But don't take my option away just because you don't want it.
Right.
That's my soapbox for the evening.
Yeah, we're going to step down off the soapbox now, because it is almost that time. So, go and plug the Facebook page real quick. Again, Two Beards Talking, and like I said earlier, it's my birthday this weekend. It'd be an awesome birthday present if you go on there and like and follow us.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
That would be super cool, and even interact with us a little bit.
Not even talk back.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Interact with us. We are very interactive people. We like to talk, as you can tell.
I mean, we wouldn't have a radio show if we didn't.
This is true.
Or maybe we would, because I think we are kind of narcissists. We do kind of like hearing our own voices.
Yeah.
Don't you? Yeah, me, motherfucker. You like hearing the sound of your own voice.
I like hearing the sound of your voice.
And this is why I didn't go to Florida.
You're the one who wanted to go to Florida. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah, but you try to turn into Two Beards cuddling, and I ain't about that life.
You're the one who was butthurt that I didn't bring you.
Actually, you told me I could go. I just didn't have the money. Honest. I'm broke, damn it. Taxes are going up. Now I'm even more broke. But, that's how that went.
Yep. So, but yeah, go on Facebook, like us, follow us, interact with us. We'll interact with you back, I promise.
Yeah, it's, quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. Let's try that again.
It's not a tongue twister.
It is if you say it fast enough.
Oh, man.
Yeah. This has been a fun show. Well, not really. That last segment kind of got my blood pressure up.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Good thing I'm playing Call of Duty here in a little bit.
There you go.
Take out frustration on
Go take out your frustrations.
On some noobs, because they've been everywhere today.
Twitter! I forgot to plug Twitter. We also have a Twitter.
Hell, we'll make a Snapchat if you want. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, Snapchat, Instagram. Go on Facebook and Tell us if you don't want to follow us on Facebook, you can still go on there and leave a comment and tell us what you would follow us on.
Yeah,
and
tell
we'll
us what
do
platform you'll follow us on, and we'll create a page on that platform.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
I don't care if it's vegansdate.com.
Well,
I don't know if that's an actual thing.
I mean,
it may be.
It probably is.
I gotta look that up.
Oh my god. Are you doing that right now?
Stand by for confirmation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, it's a thing.
Oh my god.
Oh my, this is fantastic. It's called Veggie Date.
Wow.
That can mean two things.
Oh god, that was horrible.
Yeah, but I'm gonna set up a Veggie Day profile and take a vegetarian out to Ruby Tuesday.
Oh, I would not put it past you.
I'm doing it. Oh, it's about to get bad for some vegetarians out there.
Do we even have vegetarians in Alabama?
Oh yeah, I know a couple.
Are they
not vegetarians. I know a couple vegans.
I was about to say, are they vegetarians or are they vegans?
No, I know a couple vegans, which are worse than vegetarian.
Wow.
You guys got to wrap it up.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a good show. We do appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Again, shout out to all the service members. You guys are doing a great job. Come home safe. Everybody's rooting for you. This has been Two Beards Talking with Daniel Sanders.
Matt Lassiter.
Thanks for listening, guys.